Hello and welcome back. This is episode 165 of NooBTooB, and this week we are going to take some inspiration from Dragon Age Origins, and Tobin will participate in the joining.
The what now? Why don't you have to do it?
I already did it. Alright, so all we gotta do is drink the Darkspawn blood, and if you survive, you're part of the Grey Noobs.
Wait, if I survive, what the fuck?
What are you, chicken?
God damn you, Yuzo. Alright. Alright, so I drank it, so am I one of the Grey Noobs now?
Actually, try Brown Noob. I spiked it with X-Lax, so that's what you get for the 163 Yuzo versus Chair BS.
How is that fair? I'm gonna shart my pants! That's not even! God damn you, I'm gonna... Ugh. Alright, so I'm Tobin Kozire, and I'm totally gonna crap on Yuzo this episode.
No, you're not. And Yuzo, I'm Yuzo Watanabe. This week we're talking about Dragon Age Origins, Halo ODST, finally, Torchlight, DJ Hero, and TMNT Smash Up.
Woo! Our new releases include Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
And what?
Chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp.
That's it.
Nothing.
Nothing.
But let's get started with Dragon Age Origins.
I didn't spike mine. Good wine.
But see, I switched our wines right before the show. Never. What is it? Never play mind puzzles with a Corinthian or whatever the fuck it is.
Somebody will correct us, I'm sure.
Yeah, none of you know that movie or the reference.
Yes.
That's so not true. They're all
no,
correcting us
everybody's
right
just
now.
like, no, it's this.
They're like, and you guys suck because none of you didn't know the line.
Yes,
So, yes.
You killed my father. Dragon Age Origins.
Yes, Dragon Age Origins.
Woo!
So we were talking about this last week. We got to play this at PAX.
Yeah.
And what we saw at PAX was just the adventure. It was just the kind of running around. You're in a party of 4 dudes. You can use the buttons to swap around. And we're like, this is kind of cool. It's like World of Warcraft, kind of open.
Yeah. First person, all that. And but you're going to be. The thing is, like, I did not expect how much story.
Yes.
Was going to be part of this game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, because what we got to see. They would kind of talk to each other, and there were little bits of interesting dialogue, but we didn't realize that they had built a fucking world. Like, this is a no joke. This is like an RPG with like
capital R
with like like curly Q's. Like the old there's like a girl in distress in the front. I mean, this is a serious. Do not fuck around, huge world RPG.
Dude, it feels almost Tolkien-esque,
yes.
Right? I mean, you're seeing all the maps, you're seeing all of these different histories and all that. It's just like somebody spent a lot of time writing all of the backstories for all these guys that you're not even going to see.
Yeah. What was hilarious to me is that like the backstories were a lot of times I'm the kind of guy that the backstories are coming up and I'm like, skip, fuck your bullshit story. But I was reading through this and I didn't realize how much I was paying attention. I was just kind of reading through. I was having a good time. And then so Adrian came in the room and this guy was just like, hello, my name is John. She's like, man, these voice actors suck. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Those are the Tranquil. Those aren't the guys that went through the harrowing because the harrowing was the guys that make the real wizards. But these are the Tranquil. They don't have any emotions. And she's looking at me.
Just like, really?
I was like,
did she see you like, back in your day when you were a teenager with your bag of dice?
Yeah.
And your character sheet?
I had like the flashback. I was like,
nobody understands me in my RPG. Did she start having regret looking at her ring and it's like
meow, meow, taking off the ring? But it was one of those things where I knew the story.
Yeah.
And it made sense. I mean, like, the voice acting is really good. The dialogue is really good. I'm like, oh no, these guys are breaking in to take the vial of their own blood because they have to free themselves from the Templars of the keeping the magic.
You actually absorbed quite a bit. I'm impressed because like
it's good.
Well, not only that, all the speeches. Every time you go walk around, you'll see like a little bookshelf or something like that, or a chest. You go and just say like Codex updated, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I look, and there's this long ass text about various like background stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh, really?
I read some.
Is this alien? I've been reading them, and like it really does add to the story because you'll hear them talk about like alienage and various things. You're like, I remember that. They actually talk about it in a little more detail.
Yeah. It's good.
Deep.
It's really deep, and it's interesting because it's deep in a way that is really, really gripping. Which honestly, I have to say that is really rare. Really, really rare. Like most of the times, I'm just like, yeah, I get it. You're all fighting the bad guy, but I don't know who we're fighting yet.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you have other it's very gray, right? Yeah. You have various guys who betray things and all those other things. Just like, okay, is that guy the bad guy? Is that guy the bad guy? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, like you can betray your friends. Like I accidentally betrayed my friends.
Accidentally betrayed?
I did. I went down one chain of the conversation where I couldn't get back. Like I kind of mentioned that people were trying to break out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he was just like, tell me more. And I was like, wait, how is where's the I was just kidding conversation option? I was like, no, I betrayed But then the funny thing is I told my friends that I betrayed them. Because I was trying to fix it. I'm like, I betrayed you. He's like, I hate you forever. Fuck you. And he like walked off. I was like, Shit!
Well, dude, I went. It was hilarious. Like, I don't know if you went, but hopefully I'm not giving away. It's all in the tutorial. But basically, you're talking about, okay, here comes the guy. It's just like, okay, well, we gotta take somebody. Somebody's gotta be the scapegoat, right? And I didn't know that because I said, like, who's involved? And I'm like, me and my friend. He's like, what the fuck, right? And I'm like, well, dude, you want to own up for saving your friend, right? And then they came. It's like, okay, by the way, we need to take somebody. And then this Grey Warden says, okay, I need you to come with me.
Wow.
I don't know. Did you do this?
I think it came out different.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
So the guy I was with, they took him away and hung him.
That is totally different.
Holy, so what? I mean, again, it's the intro. So what the fuck
I
happened?
I don't give a shit. So what happened is the guy that was trying to like steal his blood, he revealed himself as a blood mage, killed all the dudes and ran away. I think that's the same dude that got hung in your thing.
No, I'm talking about the intro, dude. The intro when you were breaking out and saving the maidens.
Yeah. Saving the maidens.
Holy! Don't tell. Oh, that's right. Okay, so here's the other thing that's really cool about this. When you pick a character, I totally forgot. When you pick a character, you can pick their background.
Yeah.
Whatever their background is. Oh. And each background is a totally different tutorial.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And these tutorials are like 3 hours. I'm serious. Like, I was saving these maidens in my alien because I was an elf. Who were you?
I was an elf.
Oh, so you were the other elf. You must have been
That is so cool. So we played a totally different tutorial.
Holy shit. So I don't even like blood mage. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
dude?
like there was this whole thing where I grew up in this temple, like protected by the Templars.
Were you a city elf or a wood elf?
I don't remember.
Were you in the city or were you?
I was in the city.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was a city elf too.
Yeah.
And I picked the other. I must have picked the other background because you can pick two.
That's crazy. So basically, if you play through this game several times, you can pick different characters at the beginning. You have an entirely different 3-hour tutorial in the beginning, an entirely different background, probably entirely different skills. Like,
wow.
So, like we said, this game is fucking huge. Like, enormous huge.
And this game is going to be very long. I mean, you think about it, like you look at Mass Effect and you look at all the the dialogue they did and all the different worlds. It feels to me like they upped the ante on Mass Effect and with Dragon Age. And I'm like, I finished like the first quest. I mean, like seriously, like I did the first big main line before I talked to my real party.
Yeah.
It's like 8 or 9 hours.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So let's talk about the gameplay. So the gameplay, so there's a lot of just, the world is huge, the dialogue's fantastic, it actually goes, it's very modern, so I mean there's parts that are actually humorous, it's not just kind of like, ye shall go to the castle of thine, blah, blah, no. It's actually just really, really well written, so whatever. So we said the story's good, very good.
Very adult, which I thought was very interesting. And not adult in terms of like boobs, it's like adult as far as like situations, which is like, no way.
It's like
did that
reading
just
a
happen?
serious novel. Like it's got really good shit in it. But then you get out to the game, so you can be, the usual like archers and fighters and thieves and magic users.
But it branches.
It branches, and at any time you can take your main character and you're like, fuck this. And you're like, I'm a magic user. You hit the right shoulder button. You're like, now I'm the warrior. I'm gonna go in there and fuck shit up as the warrior.
Oh,
like,
it's the person in your party, right? You
in your party.
Yeah.
So I mean, at any time you can kind of pop around your party and like fine tune it. You're like, I don't think the warrior's doing enough. I'm gonna go over there. And they actually, I was reading in the little blurbs where they said the person you're playing is a little bit more powerful. So you actually get a little bit more oomph to whoever that is.
Yeah, because it's really interesting the way to do it, because they also have the element, remember in Final Fantasy XII where you have those gambits? Mm-hmm. So you can go, so you're playing in a party of 4, all the other 3 are controlled by AI. So they're doing whatever you decided them to do. You can be aggressive, passive, defensive, whatever. But then you can go into like this major detail, just like in the gambits, where you can say, if the enemy hit point is less than 50%, do this. If your health is less than whatever, heal yourself, and all this other stuff.
So any of you that have any familiarity with programming at all, this is basically a scripting language. You basically can script out, like you just said, if this, then this. If this, then this. Like you can basically program the character of your AIs, or you can pick preset ones. You can say he's a healer, he's a fighter, he's a tank, he's a whatever. Which is
what I'm starting out with right now. If I want to do tweaking a little later, you don't have to do it. Right. But
it's this really nice spectrum between like super anal, I want to control everything, over to like you can even say auto level up. You can even say,
see that.
when you're leveling up, you can just say auto level up. You're like, I don't want to pick if 2 points go to intelligence and 1 point goes to charisma.
I don't want to pick his talents. I just want to do my own guy.
Yeah. So you can just say, boom, auto level up,
Well,
and
really
you can just chew through the game like just straight up go, or you can do all this other stuff. So they really make it fit the full gamut of gaming types.
Yes, and one of the things that kind of annoyed me about it though is the fact that they are all kind of AI. I think I might have set them on aggressive, so obviously you could probably fix this. But like, I had an area where I was like, doing some fighting, and like, there's all these traps there. Yeah. I'm a thief, and I can see the traps.
Oh shit!
And then this guy aggroes all my guys, and they all go woo, and like trap, and they all get hurt. So like, what I had to do instead was like hit right click and then like go back. But then when I lost focus, they would start going attacking it.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I think you really have to play with the
group commands. Basically, you want like just wait, just fucking stay.
And I think you have them. It's just I didn't figure it out when I first started. So all my guys died. Like, and I'm playing on hard because I was looking at it. It was just like, oh, if you played a lot of RPGs, do this. Yeah. And I'm dying a lot. But it's not that painful, which is good. They put the save points pretty, like, basically you walk through the land, all of a sudden it'd be like saving. You're like, oh fuck, I'm
about to get fucking raped. Yeah.
They do a really good job with it.
It's like a saving, and you hear a zipper go down. Like, oh damn it.
Yeah.
Prison rape as always.
Pretty much, yet again. But yeah, dude, it's like I can't say enough good things about this game.
I am floored. I'm serious. Like from what we played at PAX, I thought it would just be kind of a fun brawler, like just a standard. And what I'm seeing is just depth beyond belief. And it's got this kind of feel to it where we'll come back and comment on it again in a couple weeks because we want to get this review out right now to let you guys know how good it is.
If you only played like 8 hours, seriously, it's just scratching the surface.
Yeah, we're just scratching the surface of how awesome this game is, and we'll come back and talk to you about it later. But I'm gonna play a lot more of this game.
This, along with all the other games we have.
We have a lot of games queued up.
And it's really cool. It looks like they're going to be supporting the DLC pretty good.
Yeah.
So they already have DLC the first day it's launched.
What's the DLC? Do you know?
I don't know. I just saw it on the list, the RSS feed. So we'll see. I think it'll be good because they didn't really do that much with Mass Effect. They did like 3 or 4.
Don't care.
Dude, if the elevators weren't that bad...
It wasn't the elevators. The combat sucked, too. I didn't like the combat.
But think about it. They learned a few things. I think they learned a few things with this combat, right?
Fuck, yeah. This is really good.
Can you imagine if they took this combat and put it into Mass Effect 2? Which I don't think they did, but...
No, but I would love it because, like, Mass Effect has the world that I want to play, and it has the sci-fi element.
I know.
But I just never had any fun in the first one. I don't know. I can't tell you why.
I think it was because of the combat. Because I love the story. All of the conversation was just as, like, riveting.
Yeah.
Right? With everything else. But I hated the loading.
Yeah.
And the combat just wasn't very interesting.
Combat was bullshit, and there was just so much of it that I hated it. I really didn't like it.
I also didn't like the ship combat. That really pissed me off. I remember I had this really long mission with the ship, and I'm like, I don't really need to finish this game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like something like that can just turn you off. You're like, because I know there's more of these coming, and fuck you, I'm done.
And I haven't felt that with Dragon Age. I mean, everything you're doing is just like, it's different. One thing to keep, a pro tip for you guys in Dragon Age, do all the quests before, if you want to do the side quest, before you do the main quest, because when I did the main quest, I couldn't go back.
How do you know it's the main quest? It's pretty
well,
clear.
You look at it, you're like, oh, go handle this, or go find some stuff on the side of the road. Or I'll go find some stuff on the side of the road first. So do that, because I could not get back to my older quest.
Interesting. All right. But yeah, I am just absolutely loving it.
So good.
So next up, Halo ODST. This is probably too late, because any of you, the guys that wanted to actually buy it, have already bought it. And
I'm sure you weren't waiting for us.
You weren't waiting for us, but we got so many people saying that we need to play it that, like, we played through the single player. And
really early.
Really, we played through the single player like a month ago. And we're just like, let's
talk about single player.
Let's talk about single player.
Okay, single player fucking sucks. I did not like it at all.
It is unadulterated, like dump on a plate. It is fucking bullshit.
I mean, I can understand it because you read some of the articles about it. They're like, okay, we're gonna go for a film noir sort of thing. Which I don't know about you, but I don't think film noir means make everything dark so you can't see shit.
No. So I mean, the basic mechanics is you start off in this world. I mean, for one thing, the art is really generic. You're in this world, and everything's kind of hazy and shitty and dark. And you're running around. They're like, hey, if you really want to see the enemies, go into like special mode by hitting X, and your visor, everything goes really white, and you can see like the red outlines of enemies. You can go and kill them. But anytime you go anywhere where it's kind of a little bit brighter,
it's too light.
All of a sudden, everything turns white, and you turn off the special visor, and then it's still all shitty and boring looking. And then you run into dark again, and it's just like.
And it gets like, granted, I'm sure there's other areas, other zones. They made this basic hub world, which I thought was kind of interesting because it's a little different from Halo.
Yeah.
But like, I just didn't like. Remember how we were excited about all the voice acting and all that?
Yeah.
The voice acting was good, but like the story just did not because it was a mystery.
Yeah.
It wasn't I'm Master Chief saving the world. It's like what happened to my crew.
Yeah. It was so bad. Like, it's just hard to explain how bad it is, where I'm sitting there listening to Nathan Fillion, who I would probably fillet for free.
Pretty much.
Like, fucking, I love all the voice actors in this. They got Jane, they got Nathan Fillion, they got Wash. I don't know these people's real names. But, and they got 7 and 9.
What's her face?
Doesn't matter. So the point is, they got a bunch of really good actors, and then they'd just be talking. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, and then it would just go back to playing the game. Like, fuck, this is so not fun. Like, there is just it is like, and the thing is, we've played through the previous Halo, so you guys can't say we're Halo haters.
Well, the thing is, we liked Halo 3. But I think we only really liked it because we played co-op all the way through. Because the mechanics of Halo just never interest me. Like, I like many other first-person shooters, but not the Halo style.
No, if
but
you
the
put
co-op
Halo
was
up
awesome.
if you put Halo up against things like Gears of War, against Modern Warfare, Halo sucks. Like, Halo is not really that good compared to these other games.
Some people like them, and I can understand why, but it's just like it's just not our thing. So whatever. But like, you can do co-op through this. I didn't really feel like doing co-op, but we wanted to do the firefight. So let's at least talk about that.
Okay, so we'll talk about single player suck my dick. So next up, we said, okay, so this is the reason why we didn't review it until now. We're like, all right, we got to try the multiplayer. Otherwise, all you fucking guys will be on YouTube telling us that we suck, even though you normally say we're Xbox fanboys. Where does this fit in?
Well, they're still going to say we suck. Yeah. So whatever.
So anyway, so then we played the multiplayer. So I tried all the multiplayer versus. I tried that. And then you and I also tried the multiplayer co-op, the Firefight, which is basically a rip-off of Horde mode.
Pretty much.
From
so
Gears of War.
So yeah, you're in a kind of a zone, and basically you fight a bunch of different waves. Now the thing is, they did innovate on top of Horde, because like Horde is like a bunch of 50 waves, you're done. I mean, they have different sets of waves. You get reinforcements. All this stuff.
They changed the counting system for the waves.
The counting system. But it's a little different. I can see if you really like Halo, it's good. When we were playing co-op, it didn't suck.
No, it didn't suck. So
good.
Honestly, if you like the multiplayer in Halo 3, you're gonna love this. It's fine. It's like it's new maps for you. It's new modes. Like, I was playing the multiplayer stuff. There's modes where you only fight with swords. There's modes where you do this. There's new maps. There's new whatever.
All the stuff. It's basically everything you get in Halo 3 that you had to buy extra. It's all there.
So if you're looking for a good single player experience, Halo ODST sucks my dick. If you're looking for more of Halo 3's multiplayer that you loved, this game is phenomenal. It's exactly what Halo 3 was.
But you know what I'm going to say, dude? Like $60. Like, even if you are a Halo fan, because the thing is,
it's worth it if you're a Halo fan.
No, dude. If you're a Halo fan, you would have already bought all of the content that came on the multiplayer disc. Because it's Halo 3 plus all of the multiplayer stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So all of the DLC. So you imagine you're a Halo fan. You already own that. Single player sucks.
Yeah.
Firefight. Would you pay $60 for Firefight?
Well, you're saying that if I only owned Halo 3, I could buy all the maps that are in the ODST?
Yeah, altogether. So it's kind of good if you didn't buy all the DLC maps. But all the Halo fans
they've already bought them.
Yeah, so you don't get them for free.
Oh.
So that's what I'm saying. If you are
there's no point to ever buying this then.
Well, if you don't want a Firefight.
Firefight's not worth it.
$60?
No, it's not worth it.
Single player?
No.
See? So that's what I'm saying. It's not worth it. Even if you're a Halo fan, wait till this gets to like $25 or $30.
I just didn't realize. I mean, like, if Halo fans can already buy all of this DLC to play all of these maps, then this game has no purpose for existing.
For Firefight.
No.
The Firefight's probably $10, right?
Oh yeah, I paid $10.
$10
for that,
the additional, but
not 60.
So that's my complaint.
Whatever. Sorry, Halo fanboys. Whatever.
Oh, well.
So next up is
go play Uncharted.
Go for real.
Dude, seriously, we're gonna get so much. It's gonna be like Flip. Remember how we got so much hate when we shit on Metal Gear Solid, when we shit on all these games? It's gonna be totally Flip now.
I know, but I mean, whatever. I don't care. Like we said, if you like Halo, you're gonna like this game. If you like Halo, you don't care what we think about Halo.
Pretty much.
And we're just not big into Halo. Like, we think there's different multiplayer games that are a lot more fun.
Yes, like Modern Warfare 2.
Yes. So next up is Torchlight. So we talked about a little bit about this 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So Torchlight, again, just to recap, it's basically World of Warcraft meets Diablo.
Yeah. It's Diablo 3. Like, it's Diablo 3 early, right? Like, they basically decide that, like, the guys that worked at Blizzard were just like, I'm going to go do Diablo 2, except with better graphics. Diablo 3,
it is the original developers of 1 and 2, so they're probably at Blizzard's like, hey, we would love to work on Diablo 3, and they're like, oh, I can't hear you from all the money World of Warcraft is making us. Could you please make an expansion for Warcraft 3? They're like,
how about we quit and start our own company?
Yeah, so they did, and they went and made Mythos, I believe, which is a kind of a free-to-play game.
Okay.
They also made Hellgate London. really bad game. Yeah. But everybody liked Mythos. I never played it, but people really liked Mythos.
I didn't try Mythos either.
Mythos was like Diablo. So, funny enough, they lost all the rights to Mythos and all the code base, but they just basically recreated it in Torchlight.
Yes. Now, Torchlight, you hop into the game, and this is like...
Dude, this is so World of Warcraft.
It's so World of Warcraft and Diablo, too. I mean, like, it's
all looks like it. I mean, like, they almost, like, took so many design cues from what the characters look like, what all the different towns look like, what all the monsters look like, what the interface looks like. I mean, it looks so much like World of Warcraft to me.
You think?
To me, I mean,
I can see.
It's shiny. It's so polished.
It does have the shiny. It does have the shiny to it, which is what World of Warcraft has kind of done. Which is why there's been this big battle where everyone's begging them to not make Diablo 3 look all shiny like World of Warcraft did.
And I don't think they are, especially after we saw the desert. It's pretty drab.
Yeah,
right?
It's true. But Torchlight, if you start diving into it, you're like, okay, I like Diablo 2. So what am I going to like about this game? You start going through and you're just like, wow, this has everything good about Diablo 2 and a lot of fixes to the pain points of Diablo 2 and a lot of innovations. Like you get pets.
Pets are awesome.
Pets are the shit.
You start out the game with a pet.
Like you're like level 1 dude, you have a cat or a dog. And you're running through the world, and the dog or cat has an inventory. You can put shit on them. And
they can carry a ton of stuff, too.
Not only can they just carry a bunch of shit, you can put rings and amulets and shit on them.
And it works.
It works. So you're like dropping rings on. You're like, all right, now my pet does 3 ice damage.
It's like, okay.
Whatever. Like,
but, dude, the best part about the pet, and I love this. So what you can do is you can say, okay, well, here's all this pet stuff that I have. Like, here's the shit I have in my inventory I don't really care about. So I'm just going to shift-click on stuff and put it on my pet. And then you hit a little button and say, hey, pet, go to the vendor, sell my shit, and come back. It's awesome.
The best feature ever.
Oh my, Diablo 3, you just been served. You better have that.
Seriously, you just got bitch smacked because that is genius innovation. It's sending your pet on bitch missions. You're like, go sell my shit.
And they just 30 seconds, you don't have your pet.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then he comes back and you got a bunch more money. How cool is that? Come on, that is awesome. So it's like your pet is just your little slave.
Yeah, and I'm totally down with that. That's awesome.
Yes.
What's hilarious is like when we talk about how close it is to Diablo 2, dude, it has identify scrolls. Yeah. It has town portal scrolls.
Yeah. No, I mean it is. I cannot believe they're not getting sued to shit.
I know.
The music is exactly the same.
That was pretty impressive.
But.
Who cares?
Who cares? I mean, like we liked Diablo 2. I mean, you go through the worlds and it's got all of the fun of exploration. It's got all of the fun of the leveling and picking all the skill trees. Picking up all the different weapons.
Yeah, Diablo, the skill trees is like one of the first games with the skill trees. And I think they did a really good job because you can really. So I think you can do 3 different classes.
Right.
Berserker, archery type one,
right.
and then I forget the guy.
Mage.
Mage. Yeah.
It's always mage.
Yeah. Of course.
So and that's what I always play.
No, but actually I think it might be Necro because he can do minions.
Yes.
So mage-ish.
Yeah, I do like the minions. I've been leveling up that ability a lot because basically the more you level it up, you can like summon an imp from a dead body or summon 2 imps from a dead body or 3 imps from a dead body.
So how many imps do you have at this point?
Right now I've got 2.
Okay.
But you can basically run around and then so you've got your pet and your 2 imps fucking shit up like a tank and you're back there casting fireballs and shit. So
nice.
like I was basically building an entire party out of minions. So I'm really digging it.
I think so. So a couple of complaints I have about the game.
Okay.
So they do. My understanding is it does feel like it's randomly generated.
Really?
Well, it feels like it. I mean, you're going through. It's just like you see a lot of the similar types of things, but not all the way.
Yeah.
But it looks really good. But it's randomly generated dungeon, which I'm like, whatever. But it's just like the pacing of the game is a little different from Diablo.
You think?
Well, with Diablo, you have a lot of story elements where you go back and then you like go to the next mission, you go to the next town.
Yeah.
And like again, I've only been playing like maybe 2 or 3 hours. I haven't really seen that. You're going into the mines. You're going to the Torchlight mines. This game's called Torchlight.
Yeah.
I doubt there's another mine that you're going to.
You think? Do you think that's just all one? It can't be the whole game in one mine. Like
I don't know, but I'm just saying it's called Torchlight. You're going into Torchlight mines.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's got to have more than that. But I mean, on the other hand, it is a $20 game. So I mean, it may be short. We're not sure. We've been playing through it. So I mean, yeah, it could be kind of limited. But I mean, from what I've been seeing so far. I've enjoyed the exploration. I've enjoyed the fact that it kind of amps up where it's like I fought through, the enemies got harder, each level had more enemies. I fought a big boss battle. I've been finding some other stuff. So
the bosses are to me, like the bosses are a little too few and far between. You do fight rares occasionally, but they're not that hard. Like in Diablo 2, you'd go down into a dungeon, and every dungeon would kind of have a new guy.
But I think you're kind of forgetting the pace of Diablo 2. Diablo 2 is not as fast paced as you think because basically Diablo 2 you would go, like, there was 4 worlds, and each world took you, like, 5 hours.
But there was,
and there was 1 boss per world.
But you had, like, 3 or 4 quests you were working on at a time, and, like, at least with Torchlight, you only had, like, 2.
Yeah.
So, like, my complaint would be, like, okay, look, the good thing about Torchlight is it's actually kind of a test. This is not like a full-on real game that they're trying to like make more off of. Right. They're saying like, okay, we're actually in the progress in the back of the scenes making an MMO that looks just like this.
Right. So if you guys buy a shitload of copies of Torchlight, we're going to release this cool MMO based on the same world and the same characters and the same engine.
And like I like what I see. Like to me, like I hope with the MMO they do have like a billion more quests. They do have a billion more bosses because I'm going to play this crap.
Yeah.
Especially if it takes Diablo 3 like another 9-12 months to come out.
Who knows?
So it looks pretty good.
Yes, I mean, this is another one of those things where I would like for us to come back and kind of give a status report. I mean, yet again, we've mentioned this before. In order to get both these episodes out before I go to London this week, we had to not give these games. I mean, like, honestly, we played these games for like 4 to 8 hours each, which is a lot, but it's not enough. Like, we've had such good games, these games deserve more. Like, Dragon Age Origins deserves like 40 hours.
Yes.
Like, Torchlight deserves 20 hours.
Like, we put like 20 hours in Uncharted before we reviewed it, so we haven't given as much time as we wanted just because there's so many.
Right, so we apologize that we didn't get as deep as we'd like to, but we wanted to give you guys the impression so you can come out and get these games. Like, obviously, Dragon Age is a buy.
Yes.
Obviously, I think, like, you've got complaints about Torchlight, but on the other
hand, $20,
when you compare it to the $20 price tag, like, if you love Diablo 2, this is a no-brainer.
Yes.
Absolutely no-brainer. Like, this is worth $20 in a heartbeat.
No question. So,
thumbs up. So yes, please go buy Torchlight because I would like to see what their MMO is like.
I really do.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like with MMOs, I mean, we're not going to play it forever, but I'll play it for a month, and I'll play probably a pretty decent amount with the quality I've seen here because it's polished to sheer. Like you don't see PC games polished to this level.
No, it looked so good. And like I started out that long meandering sentence with, I would like to come back later and say, hey, we played more of Torchlight. There were more worlds, or there weren't more worlds. I mean, like, hopefully we can come back and just give a little bit of a status report on it.
Absolutely.
Next up is DJ Hero.
Yeah, so DJ Hero. So this is yet another attempt for Activision to milk the Hero franchise whatsoever, but they're at least putting a new peripheral.
Okay.
They're actually going a little bit different.
Not Activision just doing is becoming my sworn enemy.
God.
Like
they've been my sworn enemy for a long time. Dude.
I know, but I'm starting to think that I'm going to make like little Ouija, like not Ouija, little voodoo dolls, and like start sticking pins in them with Activision's face on them.
Do you remember like how much shit we gave EA for a while? But I haven't done that in a long time.
Activision's the new EA, dude. EA at least has been taking some risks with some
Dead
new
Space,
games.
EA came out with. There's some really good stuff EA's come out with.
So EA's kind of turned a new leaf. They're trying to do some new shit. They still stick a new sports game out every 5 seconds. But the point is Activision sucks my balls.
Activision needs to work on some new IP.
Yeah, seriously, just stop fucking the dead whore in the bed.
Please. But yeah, DJ Hero, speaking of the dead whore.
DJ Hero.
So DJ Hero, they're going to say, okay, well, let's take the formula of Guitar Hero and put it to a DJ with a turntable.
Okay.
So like what they do is, like, if you look on one side, it's a big turntable with 3 buttons. Okay, and then then on the left side you have the faders. I mean, you know DJ.
I know how to. Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're kind of doing this. So the idea behind it is you have the 3 bars that you're doing, and then you hold down the button or you hit the button and then scratch based on and then you have to do the slider. So there's this interesting element where you're looking at all of the things and you're hitting the slider and you're going like this all the time, and you're trying to do it. And you can also ad lib. You can do some interesting stuff. So it's an interesting concept. For the half hour I got to play it, I didn't like it, dude.
Really?
Like, when I played Guitar Hero, when I started on easy, I felt an instant connection.
Yeah.
Right? Remember I was telling you, like, dude, back in the day, like, dude, Guitar Hero?
When I picked
up Guitar Hero, you gotta try Guitar Hero.
I shot, like, you kept talking to me about how good it was, and I finally
3
picked
weeks
it up.
in a row, yeah.
And it was one of these things where it's like I played for, like, 6 hours, my fingers were hurting, and when I sat down, my vision was fucked up because, like, I kept seeing the bars moving from me. It was like Tetris back in the day.
Yeah.
First time you play Tetris, it basically is like a shock in the nutsack.
Yeah, and it kind of just connected with you. Same thing with Rock Band. When we played and we were singing, we were drumming. It was just like, it was awesome. When I played DJ Hero, I'm like, really? I got to kind of like shift it over, and then like, it had this weird, interesting element. Granted, like if I had more time, maybe I'd figure it out. But I was just like, you have to do this weird hit and scratch.
Yeah.
So it's this weird thing where I was missing because like the buttons would move.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So obviously, if you're an expert turntablist like some of our friends, maybe it's not that big of a deal. But it's just like, it is not for casual people. It is seriously for like people that really want to learn how to DJ or try to at least.
Okay. So the thing is they've had a rhythm game like this in arcades for years.
But it's so different.
Well, I've never played that one. I've never
Beatmania.
Yeah, Beatmania.
Yeah, so
with the actual
I love Beatmania.
Oh, really?
Because Beatmania.
All right, so that's I was going to ask you to compare the two.
Okay, so and that's the one thing I did actually a Twitter about it. I said look. DJ Hero is interesting. Beatmania is still more fun. Because if you look at Beatmania, you have 3 white keys, 2 black keys.
Yeah.
That's what you're hitting.
Oh,
so
really?
it's like popping, basically.
Oh.
Right, so you're hitting that.
But they've got like turntables and shit.
But then you do a turntable, there's a red line, so you go whoosh, whoosh.
So it's aesthetics.
It's aesthetics.
Okay. All right. Okay, so it's popping.
So it's popping, which popping is fun. Popping is great.
Awesome.
That's why I like Beatmania better.
One of these days I'm going to review my popping controller.
Can I borrow it? Because you can.
Shut up!
You're not going to use it.
I know.
So, but yeah, so that's the thing. Beatmania is awesome because it's very much like poppin'. This is DJ Hero. I can see where they're going with it. I have to say the music's pretty good. They do a lot of mashups.
Yeah.
Very interesting mashups. Where what was it, like Gwen Stefani and something else? Where it's just like I don't like.
You were saying there's like a Beastie Boys and Weezer one or something.
Yeah, there's some really good mixes, and like
you
listen to it, like I'm kind of rocking. This is kind of good. But
the controls are
it's
stuck.
not fun, and I don't want to spend $150 on a new peripheral just to try a game.
No.
So
I've got enough peripherals in my closet covered in dust.
I don't think like our wives. I don't think will allow us to bring another peripheral.
I know, like walking in, like, hey, I got DJ here. She's like, out.
It's just like when one comes in, Poppin' has to go out.
No. Popping over my dead body.
So DJ Hero, I'm not feeling it. Maybe if I had some more time, but I'm not going to spend $150 to try it out.
Yeah. And then last up, I refused to play this game because of how shitty it looked.
Why not?
So why don't you give me your review on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up?
Why did you let me play this game alone?
I don't know. Because it's funny. It's funny because it's not me. I learned that from Homer Simpson.
So this game I played a long time ago, back when it came out, because we were actually kind of hurting for games for a little while. I'm like, I got to play this, and then all of a sudden, like, I never got to review it because I was hoping you would play it with me and feel the pain.
Like every week, you're like, hey, why don't you go rent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up this week so we can review it? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get to that.
Hey, he's like, have you played TMNT so I can put it on? You're like, no. I'm like, oh.
So tell me about the game.
Okay, so TMNT Smash Up is basically a Smash Brothers clone, but they use TMNT players.
Okay.
Sucks. And it's not just because it's a Smash Brothers clone. Like, Smash Brothers, for what little I know about the game or what I like about the game, has everything on this game. You know what I mean? It's just like everything about it. So it's a terrible game. I just wanted to put it on the list to avoid it. I don't want to talk about it anymore because the memories are bad.
That's our review. This game sucks. Moving on. Don't fucking play it or buy it or rent it.
How can I justify this game? How bad it sucks. The little mini games that you have about it, the fighting is terrible.
Yeah.
The fact that you have all these random teenage...
Is it like super button mashy? Is it just like...
Yeah, well, it's Smash Brothers, of course, right? Obviously. I mean, but like, look, you have Smash Brothers, you have the entire Nintendo oeuvre to work with, right?
Yeah.
TMNT, you have the 4 Ninja Turtles. And April, who can suddenly fight.
Never could in
and
the
she
show.
had to be rescued pretty much every single episode, what I remember, right?
Yeah, she was Kim Basinger in Batman.
Pretty much. Yeah. And whatchamacallit, and Splinter, and then and all the enemies, right?
Okay.
But that's it.
Yeah.
So, terrible. Stay away from this game.
I don't care. And then, so new releases
You are unfair.
Yuzo has a large boner for Modern Warfare 2.
Yes.
It will blot out the sun.
It will blot out the sun. So this is the game, when Call of Duty 4 came out, when the multiplayer came out, I played the multiplayer beta for hours on end. That's how hooked I was. And then when I played the game, I seriously have days worth of time on this game.
I know. So basically...
I Siege 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you absolutely love this game, and from everything you've seen, it looks like Modern Warfare 2 is going to be that times 10.
It's going to be amazing. And I actually think I'll play the campaign at this point.
Yeah.
Not to say the campaign of Call of Duty 4 was bad, but like once I played the multiplayer, I never went back.
Well, so, I mean, I'm going to get this too, because I mean, this is a big enough game. Like, I know that I'm not going to play all that much multiplayer, but I definitely want to play it and give the kind of non-Modern Warfare fan review of the single player, because I bet it's going to be awesome. I mean, look, I've watched a bunch of gameplay videos, and it looks good.
The single player looks really good, and what I'm really hoping that we'll be able to play together is a special ops. So they have the multiplayer. So they have multiplayer and they have the single player, which is just like Call of Duty 4, but they added this new element where it seems to me like all the first-person shooter guys are like, dude, we got to have our horde. Right?
Yeah.
So Halo got that, but this is different because it's basically just 2 players.
Okay.
And you have to go and you have an objective.
Okay.
So they ramp up the difficulty. It's more interesting. I think that'll be more interesting because you can't play co-op through the single player.
Oh. Okay, yeah, no, that sounds great. I mean, I would love to hop on and play some co-op on this. So this will be out next week. So next week, episode 166, we will review this shit. So.
Yes, we'll be probably a little late, actually, because this one will come out after. This episode will come out after.
Yeah,
it comes out. So
yeah, because I'm right now when you guys are watching this, I am in London. I am eating fish and chips and riding lifts.
Hopefully, drinking beer
and drinking so much beer.
Yes,
you know why? Because I'm not driving when I'm there. We just walk around. We're taking the fucking metro everywhere.
You're gonna see Muse, dude.
I'm gonna go see Muse in London.
Lucky bastard.
We're going there to see Muse. So yeah. So anyway, I'm on vacation. But thanks for watching.
And I'm playing Dragon Age Origins.
You're playing Dragon Age and you're playing Modern Warfare right now.
Absolutely, right now.
Right now.
Okay, so thank you for watching.
Yep, that is our show for the week. Check out our website at NooBTooB.com and participate in our forums by clicking the community tab at the top of the front page.
Yes, and if you're watching video on YouTube, click on the subscription button right under there. We got to be close to 19,000 by point.
We are trying to hit 20,000 by the end of the year. By the end of the year.
Do it.
By 2010, 20,000 subscribers.
Yes,
tell your friends.
Yes, and also click on the right, which one? 5 stars?
Rub my thigh.
Rub his thigh, basically. You get the idea. 5 stars.
You'll get a juicy surprise. So this is Yuzo Watanabe.
I forget all the time. I'm Yuzo Watanabe.
And I'm Tomo Gozire, and audio engineering for NooBTooB is done by Range Greener Pastures Strunk. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all next week. We're out!
See ya! And Tobin is going to be participating in the joining.
The what now? Wait, why don't you have to do it?
I already did it. Okay, so all you have to do is drink. All you have to drink. Okay, we gotta work on that. Let's try it again.